Hello everybody and welcome to Full Court MACtion. I'm Dave Bacon. It's a half hour dedicated to both men's and women's basketball in the Mid-American Conference. So let's get rolling. Kent State's Golden Flashes are historically one of the top men's programs in the Mid-American Conference. The Flashes faced some early season adversity. One of their starters, Morgan Safford, injured and out for the season with a torn hip labrum. Safford is the type of teammate, though, that will find a way to do whatever he can to help the Flashes win.
My name is Morgan Safford, and this is my love letter to basketball. My basketball story began on the east side of Columbus, Ohio. My parents put me on a little YMCA basketball team, and I was so nervous I wouldn't even go on the court without my mom. I fell in love with playing sports pretty much immediately after that. And then in 7th grade, I was faced with a pivotal decision, which sport to focus on. At the time, I was a shortstop in baseball, but things began to shift. They moved me to the outfield, and I began to find myself bored, standing under the sun for endless stretches. Basketball, on the other hand, was alive, fast-paced, competitive, and thrilling. It lit something inside of me that baseball no longer could. So I made my decision, basketball. I had no idea how deeply that decision would shape my life. I only knew that I loved the game. I wasn't a standout high school player. In fact, I was far from it. Things started looking up when I joined the AAU circuit, but my momentum stalled after skipping my U17 year. By the time my senior year rolled around, I didn't have a single offer to my name. It felt like my dream was slipping away. My guidance counselor thought so as well. She advised me to start applying to colleges and be a regular student, essentially giving up on my dream. But that wasn't an option for me. I told her I started applying, but the truth was I hadn't filled out a single application. It was basketball or nothing. I kept grinding, pouring everything into my senior season, and then everything changed. A run of games of 37, 43, 35 put me on the radar of local schools like Youngstown State and Ohio University. But Wofford College stood out to me. I believed in what Coach McCauley was building, and Wofford's academic reputation appealed to me. Plus, I wanted to step out of my comfort zone and leave Ohio and experience something new. So I chose Wofford, and it became the next chapter of my journey. I learned from incredible teammates and competed in high-state games, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. I tore my labrum during my time there, and it was the hardest period of my life. A teammate of mine, Storm Murphy, gave me a device that I would become my mantra: work while you wait. He told me that even when I couldn't play, I should still work on my craft and be ready for my moment. So I worked, the same determination that carried me through my transfer to Miami University. Every day I practiced, trained, and stayed ready.
All it takes is one.
And I repeated this process again here at Kent State. Sitting out due to the time of my transfer. It wasn't easy. Waiting never is. But all I knew was to work. Basketball is my love, my craft, and my life. Each stop of my basketball journey, Wofford, Miami, and now Kent State, has taught me something different. At Wofford, I learned to carry myself like a professional. I was watching and learning from teammates who went on to play at the highest levels. At Miami, I developed leadership skills, learning how to find the positive in tough situations. Those lessons prepared me for Kent State. But here, I'm chasing something bigger than myself. Championships, banners, and a chance to leave a lasting legacy. I've never been to the NCAA tournament, and that hunger fuels me. Kent State's championship pedigree is what drew me here, and I want to be a part of that history. Basketball has been my greatest joy, but also my toughest challenge. It's more than a game. It is a microcosm of life. It throws curveballs when you least expect them, and you just have to keep pushing forward. I faced injuries, transfers, and setbacks, but I've also had the highs, the big wins, the unforgettable moments, and lifelong friendships. I'm just a kid from Columbus, Ohio, who fell in love with the ball and the hoop. Basketball has taken me places I've never imagined and given me experiences I wouldn't trade for anything. But I'm not done. My dream is to play basketball for as long as I can. I'll keep working, grinding, and chasing that dream until I can't anymore. Basketball is my love, my passion, and my life's greatest teacher. I've chosen it time and time again, and I'll keep choosing it because I can't imagine my life any other way.
Can't wait to see Morgan Safford back on the court playing the game he loves. His teammates will be traveling to Buffalo on Friday, and it is our MAC Game of the Week. On the men's side of things, both teams lost their first game in conference play, looking for their first MAC win of the year. Kent State is led by Von Cameron Davis. He's averaging 15.3 points a game, scored 20 in back-to-back games. Buffalo getting some quality minutes from sophomore Ryan Sabo. He's averaging over 16.5 points a game, scored 25 in the MAC opener against Ball State. Second-year Bulls head coach George Halkovich is looking to stop the team's 4-game losing streak. Let's welcome in the head coach of the Buffalo Bulls. A second year with the program. Coach, you've already eclipsed last year's win total. What has been the biggest difference in year two?
I think growth. We had some guys that were with our program last year that are now sophomores and have grown. And then we brought in guys and Tyson Dunn and Noah Batchelor that gave us veteran presence to start. So honestly, just a second year of everybody who had been here understanding what we're doing on a daily basis has really been a big key, and build on all those habits. And then having guys really excited about what we're doing here in Buffalo and bringing it every day, understanding that, they're coming into this and, they're playing the way we kind of recruited them to play. So again, last year was a turnover year for us. A lot of guys that, were with the previous program and staff that, that happens sometimes. And I think this year we have a full complement of players that really understand what we're trying to do here.
That takes me kind of to my next point. So home games coming up with Ohio and Kent State this week. When you are playing the way you want to play on the court, what are we seeing? What's the formula for Buffalo to win?
Yeah, I think we've been good when we've gotten out in transition offensively. So if a big key to that is getting stops on the defensive end and then being able to take defensive energy and turn it into quick offense. So obviously, if we get stops, we'd love that because I think that's when we're playing our best. We have not defended at the level we'd like to yet consistently, but when we have, we've been good, and that's when we've been our best. So I think playing that way and then being able to mix up our defensive looks to kind of keep the other team off balance is also another key.
Well, one guy that has really stepped up his game, Ryan Sable, second in the MAC in scoring, 16.6 a game. Doubled his average from a season ago. What has been the difference with him, and who's another guy that really has stepped up for you?
Yeah, I think Ryan is just a guy that continues to grow. He's all into what we're doing, and I think that's a credit to him and the rest of the guys. And his success also is because other guys have not worried about who's getting the credit. Guys have been making the right plays offensively. We're sharing the ball at a high level. I think I should have mentioned that. Averaging about 14 assists a game, I think, right now, which is much better than we did last year. So he's really the beneficiary offensively of a lot of other guys on selfishness. And then to that point, whether it be the guys that start with AJ, Noah, all those guys in the starting lineup, but also Tyson Dunn being a great point guard who just really is a floor general, sees the floor, not worried about scoring, worried about making the right play. Guys like Ryan, who are elite shooters, really feed off a guy like that.
Coach Halkovich, appreciate the time. Best of luck to the Bulls. I'm sure we will catch up with you soon.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, guys. Happy New Year.
After the break, we go 94 feet with Buffalo's Cello Watson. That's when Full Court MACtion continues. Full Court MACtion continues. We turn our attention to the women's side of things. Buffalo 12-1 on the year, led by first-team All-MAC performer from a season ago, Cello Watson. Sarah Trinelli goes 94 feet with Cello Watson.
I am here with first-team All-MAC selection, Cello Watson. Cello, we're going to do some 94 feet. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, let's talk about that season first last year. What was that like, both for you as an individual and for our team?
It was an amazing experience, both for our team and also our coaches. Just something that we always want to get back to and just try to fight for.
Now, you have a really special relationship with Coach Burke. You guys have obviously been together for a long time. What is that relationship like between the two of you?
It's strong. It's genuine love between us. Whatever she says, I trust and I believe in her, and then I think it's the same way for her.
Now, I fully believe you're going to have a long playing career, and you're far from done. But when you do get done, what do you want to do when you put the shoes down? What's the next step for you?
So I want to be a professional coach younger players.
All right, now you've been in Buffalo long enough. I think I can ask you this. What's your favorite wing flavor?
My favorite wing flavor would probably be the Cajun medium from Barbell with a little lemon pepper on top.
Okay, you going drums or flats?
Flats, come on.
All right, and then last thing, you're getting ready for a game. You're in the locker room. What's on your pregame playlist?
Young Boy song, Green Dot. Yep.
All right, you heard it. That is 94 Feet with Chella Watson.
Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland is where the Mid-American Conference Tournament takes place. It's where all the teams are trying to get to. Here's a look at the standings for the road to Cleveland. The Bulls started the season 12-0. Their loss to Kent State drops them with 7 other teams who are 1-1 in MAC play. Currently, both Ball State and Kent State, a perfect 2-0, sit atop the women's standings. Let's welcome Lisa Carlson, head coach of the Northern Illinois women's team, to the show. Coach, you split your first 2 conference games, but you snapped Toledo's 20-game home court winning streak. That's a tough place to play always. What message does that send to your team?
Well, I think it really, starting MAC play, understanding that it's a 40-minute battle no matter who you play, where you play. I think it really showed our team and their understanding of that's going to be true every night out, right? I thought it really was a dogfight. You know, I'm sure that there's possessions that Jenny would want back. There's definitely possessions we would want back. But at the end of the day, you know, we just found a way to get it done, and I was super proud of our resiliency.
So the other MAC game where you split the first 2, the loss to Ohio. But in that game, there was a player, Lexi Carlson, your daughter, had 17 to lead the team. What's it been like coaching her? I imagine she probably has been coming to the games and has wanted to play for the Huskies. She's a freshman, so she finally gets to do that. What's it been like?
Yeah, it's been awesome. You know, like you mentioned, she's been around this program and around this league and knows as much about it as I do in a lot of ways. And so there's great familiarity. You know, the opportunity to put on a Husky uniform and really contribute right away as a freshman has been exciting for her, exciting for me. And I think I'm really proud of her, the way she has earned the respect of her team and understands what we're trying to get done. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Trademarks of this team. You guys you always seem to play good defense, and you have, when you're playing well, what do you want this program to be known for?
Well, I mentioned it before. I think balance is a big thing. This is a group that has a lot of veterans on the team, right? Our seniors have been here for 4, 5, 6 years. They're really the foundation of what we do. They've been around the league. They understand what the MAC is all about. And so, you know, we continue to fight for great consistency on a night-to-night basis. I love the way our group goes about it on a day-to-day basis. And so that does provide some comfort that I know that they're going to give me everything they have on a night-to-night basis.
Lisa Carlson, appreciate the time. Thanks very much. Best of luck to the Huskies as you battle through Mid-American Conference play.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
On the women's side of things, our game of the week is also in Buffalo. The Bulls lost their first game of the season on Sunday to Kent State. Will be looking to rebound against the top team in the MAC, the Ball State Cardinals. Ball State already 2-0 in conference play. Senior Allie Becky is a big reason why, averaging almost 14.5 points a game, nearly 6 rebounds and 6 assists per game as well, getting it done all over the court. For the Bulls, their senior leader, we just heard from her, Chella Watson, averaging 19.4 points a game with at least 20 points in 3 of her last 4 contests. Time for a quick timeout. On the other side of the break, we'll look at some of the top plays of the week, plus a one-on-one with Western Michigan head coach Dwayne Stevens. You're watching Full Court MACtion. Stay with us. We continue running on Full Court MACtion. Time to head out to Western Michigan. Let's welcome in Dwayne Stevens, head coach of the Broncos. Coach, I want to begin with this. You played at Michigan State, Dayton, Butler. Those are tough venues to play at. What was the thought behind being tough in your non-conference?
Yeah, having come from Michigan State, we always talked about, giving our guys life experiences and letting them play places that, a lot of people don't get a chance to play. So when the opportunity presented itself for us to play at both or all three, Dayton, Michigan State, and Butler, for me, it was a no-brainer. Just wanted to challenge my guys as much as possible in the non-conference and hopefully haven't been challenged, that will pay off in conference play. Now
you're getting healthy. In talking to you, some really key pieces are starting to get healthy. And what are you doing? You got to figure out how to get them in. I guess the rotation and how effectively to use them.
Yeah, it's tough. Chauncey Willis, our starting point guard, missed the beginning of the year. He missed 7 games. Or 8 games, and we had a freshman, E.J. Ryans, playing in his place, and it was an adjustment because we figured we were going to have Chauncey, and then once he had appendix taken out, and when he came back from that, a kid that was starting, EJ, and provided us with some pretty good minutes, and now goes from starting to not playing as much. And that's an adjustment for everyone, not just Chauncey, but for EJ and then for the rest of the team. Then Javon Hanna was out for a short span, and so was Donovan Williams. So just getting those 3 guys back has been good for us, but also a little bit of a challenge because you got to figure out the rotation and how to make everyone kind of happy and have all those pieces fit.
So 4 wins in MAC play a couple years ago, 9 last year. What do you expect to see? Is this kind of a year you're expecting even a bigger jump?
Yeah, we'd love to jump up even more and kind of be in the top half of the league. I think we have the pieces to do that. It's just a matter of us putting it all together. The MAC's tough league is always going to be tough. You have your mainstays with Akron and Toledo, Ohio, Kent State that are kind of up there, and the rest of us are trying to get up in that top half. So that's what we're trying to do. We're going to go out and compete every night and see if we can't make another jump.
Another guy that really has made a jump, Owen Lobsinger. First double-double of the year Saturday, currently second in the MAC in rebounding. How important is he to what you want to do and to the success?
Yeah, Owen's extremely important to us. He's turned himself into a heck of a rebounder. When I first got here, he was averaging 2 rebounds a game, and he's increased that over the last 2 years. And he's a guy that can really shoot the ball. He's struggling a little bit from range right now, but he's super important to what we're trying to do because he's built the right way. He does what you ask him to do. He comes in, he works his tail off. I'd like for him to be a little more vocal, but I'll take him how he is. He's a really good kid, a great player, and coaches are never satisfied, and he could have a triple-double, and I'd still be upset with him. So, but he's super important to what we're trying to do, and I think he's one of the guys that is most important for us, no doubt.
Coach Stevens, Western Michigan, as always, appreciate the time. Thanks very much. Best of luck to the Broncos in Mid-American Conference play.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Let's take a look at the Road to Cleveland standings for the men's in Mid-American Conference play. Each team has only played 1 conference game, so half of the MAC is 1-0. Miami, Akron, Ball State, Eastern Michigan, Ohio, and Toledo. 6 remaining teams are 0-1. This will mark the 25th season that the Mid-American Conference basketball tournament has been in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. As we get closer to championship week, we'll take a look at some of the best performances in Cleveland with our tournament time capsule. For the year 2000, we highlight Dwayne Clements and the Ball State Cardinals.
lane. The left hand is true.
Clemens led the Cardinal with 14 points. He took home the tournament MVP, and the Cardinals advanced to the NCAA tournament, defeating Miami 61-58 in the first MAC tournament played in Cleveland. Before we go, time to take a look at some of our best plays from the first full week of MACtion. Here are our top plays.
Tries to dance by her defender. Fear left wing three, blocked by Dunn, tipped into the hands of Gray. Gray pushes all the way to the cup. Righty lane, scoops it off the window and scores.
The rim, rebound by Hetty. Was trying to run here against the Bobcats. Hetty trying to do it himself. And does. Wow.
16 with 9:15 to go in a half. Solinger gets a steal. Solinger stops, takes a triple for the lead, and he got it. Jalen with a steal and a triple.
Pulled the trigger on the inbounds. Looking for Makonowitz all alone underneath. What a time for her first points of the day.
That'll do it for this edition of Full Court MACtion. We'll see you right back here next week for another edition that highlights some of the best in the Mid-American Conference. Have a great week, everybody.